Section 3. Introduction to the thing. In this section, we will take a look at the SparkFun ESP8266 thing. We will learn how to set up the thing. After that, we will get to know the IoT project that we will be doing with the thing. We will cover the list of hardware components that are required to complete our project. Finally, we will start with some real small projects and we'll end the section with a complete IoT project that uses a sensor, an actuator, and an IoT development board. Sounds interesting? Video 1. Introduction to the SparkFun ESP8266 thing. In this video, we will learn about the SparkFun ESP8266 and its capabilities. The SparkFun ESP8266 thing is the IoT hardware platform that we will use to build our IoT projects in this course. The thing is built around the wildly popular ESP8266 Wi-Fi enabled microcontroller chip. The ESP8266 is incredibly cheap. It costs less than a couple of dollars and packs quite a punch. However, the ESP8266 is rather small and with a limited I/O and a pinout that is not all that intuitive, it can be rather challenging to build an IoT project around it. This is true especially for a beginner. The SparkFun's ESP8266 thing breaks out all of the module pins. That is not all. It also comes with a LiPo charger, power supply, and all other supporting circuitry. All this makes it an ideal development board when you are starting out on IoT projects. The LiPo battery connector on the thing allows you to build really wireless projects that doesn't have to be plugged to any power socket. The SparkFun ESP8266 thing is a pretty looking board with the pins broken out into two parallel breadboard compatible rows. Let us take a quick tour of the board. First, we have the USB connector using which you can power up the board. Next to that, you will find the LiPo battery connector. The board can be powered up either through the USB or through the LiPo battery. Next to the LiPo battery connector, we have the on-off switch. On the other end of the board, we have a PCB trace antenna for the Wi-Fi. This is the ESP8266 chip here. There is also a 4 MB SPA flash memory on the board. Here is the charging LED that lights up when the battery is being charged. Next to that is the power LED which lights up when the board is powered up. Next, let us take a look at the serial programming header. This 6-pin header can be used to connect the thing to your development computer. The pinout of this header matches the ubiquitous FTDI header. You can interface the serial programming header with 3.3 volt I/O FTDI cable. We will be programming and debugging the thing through the serial programming pins via the FTDI cable. Next to the serial programming header, we have the I2C header. I2C is a very popular communication protocol in the embedded world. You can use the I2C to hook up the thing to a motion sensor, light sensor, OLED display, and so on. The I2C header includes 4 pins: ground, 3.3 volts, SDA, that is serial data, and SCL, that is serial clock. The rest of the power, control, and I/O pins are broken out on the other side of the board. There is also a 10-bit ADC with a maximum voltage of 1 volt. There is also an onboard LED that is connected to the pin 5 of the thing. Now let us flip the thing over. You will find a few jumpers and test points. There is a DTR jumper that allows for auto reset. There is also a FTDI VCC jumper that connects the 3.3 volts pin on the serial header directly to the ESP8266 3.3 volts supply. As you can see, the SparkFun ESP8266 is a board meant for IoT projects. Let us complete our tour of the board by getting to know a few important points. The ESP8266 maximum voltage is 3.6 volts. So the thing has an onboard 3.3 volt regulator to deliver a steady, consistent voltage to the IC. This means that the ESP8266 I/O pins also run at 3.3 volts. If you have any 5 volt signals running into the IC, you will need to level shift them. Earlier, we learned that the board can be powered by USB or through the LiPo. Alternatively, if you have an external regulated supply you would like to deliver directly to the ESP8266, you can supply the voltage through the 3.3 volt pin on the I2C header. This voltage doesn't have to be exactly 3.3 volt. but must be within the range of 1.7 to 3.6 volt. On average, the thing pulls about 80 milliampere. If the Wi-Fi is transmitting or receiving data, then the draw can increase. In the deep sleep mode, the thing draws a mere 10 microampere current. If your IoT project requires maximum battery life, the deep sleep functionality can come really handy. This ends the tour of the SparkFun ESP8266 thing. Summary: in this video, we took a tour of the SparkFun ESP8266 thing and learned about the various parts of the board and some of its features. In the next video, we will learn how to set the board up and get it ready so that we can do some real cool IoT projects.